Hey guys, I'm Tunga Matiza, and today we're going to be talking about the if function. So, what exactly is the if function? The if function is a formula that we use in a cell that will show us a result only if the information that we link it to meets a certain criteria. So, for example, in this situation, we've got grades for students, and we would like to put the comment pass or fail if they meet a certain mark on the exam. That's how the if function would be used. Okay, so let's assume our teacher here has put a pass mark for this exam to be 50%. And we now want to be able to show whether or not the student passed or failed this exam in this column. So in this case, we now use the if formula. Equals if, double click on that. And the first part it is going to ask you is for the logical test. What is it that you want to fulfill by using this formula? So if this person's mark, in this case D2, is greater than or equal to 50%, then what do we want to show? We want to show that the person has passed. And if it is not greater than or equal to 50, this person has failed. And then we close our brackets. And there we go. And because we want to pull the formula down the column, we have to set some of the formula to be static. In this case, we don't want this to be changing, so we'll keep it in column I. So you can actually say function F4, and that will keep it static. Now that we've done that, we can actually pull the formula down, double click, and you'll see that the formula is pulled down. And you can see anyone who's above or equal to 50% has a pass, and anyone below that is going to fail. So that's the basic use of the if function. So now that we understand the basic if function, we can now take it a step further and now use multiple criteria. What do I mean? You might have a situation where you've got more than one criteria that you want to meet before you actually pull out a result of pass or fail for the student. So in this situation, let's assume that the students in the Dodoma, for example, wrote the exams under tougher conditions than the other students. So their pass mark has actually been revised downwards to, let's say, 40%. So here we can have our different pass mark for Dodoma to be 40%. How do you write the formula? So again, we're using the if function. But because there's multiple criteria here, we're going to actually then add on a new function, which is the AND function, which allows us to use multiple criteria in the if function. So you can see it's got your logical test 1, logical test 2, and it allows you to put more logical tests for multiple criteria. So the first criteria that we want to meet is the region equal to Dodoma? Make that static. If it is equal to Dodoma, what next? Is the mark within the range that we want? So is it greater than or equal to 40%? Make that static as well. And if both criteria have been met, what do we want? What is the value that we want to show to be true? We want to show the word pass. And if it is not true, if it is not Dodoma and it is not meeting the 40% mark, what next? We want to revert to our original status of 50%. So we put the same formula that we put in result 1, and that is if. And I've got another clip on nested functions, if functions and nested functions that I'll post later for you to see or understand better what I'm doing here. If D2 is greater than or equal to 50%. Make that static again. Then we want to show the word pass. But if not, show the word fail. We close our brackets and press enter. Now, because we've made our information or a static already, we can actually pull down the formula. And this is how it will come out. So you'll notice that anyone who is in Dodoma, this one at 60%, so they had no problem anyway. But this one at 49%, under the normal criteria of 50%, this person had failed. But under the revised formulation, this person has now passed. So they've met the criteria of being in Dodoma and above 40%, so they now pass. Again, we've got another Dodoma here, 50, there was no problem there. Dodoma 76, no problem there. Here again, this person at 47, originally failed and now have passed. So that's how you can actually incorporate multiple criteria using the if and AND function. So in what situations would you have to use the if function? Well, as I always say, the uses are infinite when it comes to the Excel functions. But in this situation, I'll show you an example of an employee performance tracker that I have set up that uses the if function in certain parts of it. So assume this is a list of, let's say, 150 employees. And you've got so much data and you want to be able to filter through the information by department, gender, by name, or by year. In terms of what they have done in their performance assessments. In this sheet here, you'll find that I'm using the if function to filter through the department, the gender, and the year. And I'm choosing the department using the drop-down list. If you want to see how to make a drop-down list, you can check one of the clips that I've already posted. So for example, here we've got department, gender, and year. And this shows that 2 people who are females in this department got these grades. If I change the department to go to finance, you'll find that no one in the department was evaluated who is a finance person, female in 2021. But if I change the gender to male, you'll find that there was one person who met the criteria that was there. So by meeting the criteria of being in finance, a male, and in this year, you'll find that their name has been listed. But if I go back again to sales and marketing, no males in 2021, but there were 2 females that were assessed during that period. If I change the year, for example, let's say 2022, it will show that no one has been evaluated in that department, even though there are 2 females and they're both in the sales and marketing department. So that's how you can play around with the if function and the multiple criteria function in Excel. Okay, so that was just a basic outline of the if function. If you found the information in this video to be useful to you, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. And of course, don't forget to click on the notification bell to get updates about new videos that I post.